Hey, ladies and gentlemen, it's your host, Dr. Giggles, in the house. So this week, and don't mind me today. I don't know if you've been following me on Facebook or Twitter or anything today. I took a nice digger today on my boosted board, and let's just say that it didn't feel good. I got the bandage on, and for some reason my right calf muscle hurts. I'm walking like a Fruit Loop, you know, and it hurt. And I will say it did kind of suck, because I'm like, I didn't have any bandages in the house, and then I'm like, oh, I gotta go to CVS and then go get some bandages and stuff, and then like I drove off, I left the kids home, and then all of a sudden, I guess my body went into shock or something, and next thing you know, I felt like I was going to throw up, crap my pants. I actually felt kind of like lightheaded and stuff. So I flipped the car around real quick, came home, and I thought I was going to die. It was kind of like being like really high on some crazy drugs and then like feeling like crap. And then after about 20 minutes, I was like, woo, felt like $1,000,000. Went away, I could start eating. The show was close to not happening. Or I would have had Dave and Luco. This is the newest machine. Right here, Star Wars. That's the newest one. We did a live stream of it on Monday. So that's on. It's on the YouTube page. You can check it out. I would like. It actually got like really good towards the end when we started battling. My brother and my two kids were battling out, having some good battles on it. So it was really good, and so check that out too. But anyway, so this week we're going to talk about Six Flags New England's Fright Fest, because we went to Media Night on Saturday. We're going to talk about behind the scenes on, Lake Compounce, because we went there Sunday. And, hey, Sean, what's up? Yeah, Dave, it wasn't good, but I'm going to get back on the board. I just need to kind of like just chill, and I got to stop being stupid. And this should be an example to all you young bucks out there that think you're indestructible. I had a helmet on, so I didn't crush my melon, but wear pads. Trust me. Just wear elbow knee pads. Put a blow-up suit around you or something. Matter of fact, I'm gonna not this weekend, maybe sometime next week. I'm gonna film myself riding that thing, wearing my poop emoji costume. So that'll come, and I'll post it, and you guys can laugh about it. How about that? But anyway, so we're going to talk about Lake Compounce. We're going to talk about Fright Fest Media Night. We're going to talk about the Haunted Graveyard at Lake Compounce, because we had a behind-the-scenes tour before it opened with that. We're also got a big announcement we're going to do a little bit later on in the show after we get through a bunch of stuff. I got a little bit of tidbit of news, and we're going to talk about all the other stuff. I have yet to ride Green Lantern yet. That's the key word, yet. I will get there, and I will ride it. I did hear it's... I don't know, my brother, he wrote it, like, I don't know, 2 or 3 years ago, and he loved it. He thought it was great. And I don't know what, I should have asked him, because he came with us Saturday, and he absolutely loved the Joker. He thought it was great. He loves that. So, what do you call it? So I'll have to ask him. These pants are weird, man. It's like, I don't know, they're like flex. I didn't realize what I bought for jeans. It's like stretch pants as jeans or something. For guys. I don't know what the hell this crap is. Pants are weird. So anyway, now that I've composed myself, we talked about what we're going to talk about. And we'll get it on. Like Donkey Kong up in there. So anyway, let's start with the news and get that out of the way. There's only, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 little tidbits of news. And then we'll get into all the goodies. Well, you never wear pants. I don't know how to take that, Brett. That you never wear pants. I don't know. I mean, I could go a lot of ways with that, but I'm not gonna. So let's get to the news. All right, so Walt Disney World Epcot Sunday was the 35th anniversary of 35th anniversary of Epcot. So they had, like, you know, a little shindig and all that. But they did confirm that the new Guardians of the Galaxy ride that's going in Epcot is, in fact, an indoor roller coaster, which is the first roller coaster in the park. I don't count the Robo-Arm thing, Create a Coaster, because it's not really a coaster. But that's fun, though. That is really fun. I'm not going to knock it. But they're actually going to have a real honest-to-God roller coaster indoors, 10 stories high, and they didn't really confirm much more and give much more information to that, but I'm excited about it. And I'm excited for a few reasons. And I know we've talked about this in the past about Epcot, especially my take on Epcot. I remember in the 90s, it's way different than it is today. And it just seems, in my honest opinion, that Epcot has kind of like lost itself and has gone downhill. I mean, you have your country area, the World Showcase, and then you have the other area, Future World and all that stuff. And I mean, I love the ride. I forget the name of the ride, but the one in the golf ball, love it. I love Test Track. I haven't ridden 2.0 version. I do love Mission Space. And, you know, but that's more really a what do you call it? A park, what I call for adults. Because when I went in 1994, I was in high school, and at that time I really didn't care about culture and stuff. I wanted the rides. That's what I wanted when I was that young. You know what I'm saying? Like I really just wanted to be where there was rides, not Epcot. My parents were like, "Hey, we're going to Epcot." All right, cool, whatever. So we did that, and I didn't really appreciate it back then. Now, as I've gone as an adult, I've learned to appreciate it more, but it's lacking a lot of stuff because a lot of the stuff closed down over the years. I mean, there's some other cool little tidbit of rides. Figment's been hacked to hell, you know, and I get that, and people are upset, but I see that the changes that are coming are actually for the better. I mean, you look what they did to Norway. I know a lot of people were pissed. Frozen got put in. I'm not a Frozen fan, but I'll go ride it. I'll check it out. We know that Ratatouille is going to go into France. We know that Guardians of the Galaxy is going in the old energy building there. And, you know, they're going to keep adding stuff. And honestly, to get everybody on board, and even the kids, to draw them in, to maybe give them a little culture on different countries and stuff, that's probably the right way to do it. I know it's not Walt's original vision, which was a live-in city, work-in city kind of place. And I would have loved to see how that could have been. I mean, if Disney is saying it's the park's first coaster, then Test Track is not a coaster. If this is not specified, then Test Track is a coaster. According to Disney, they said it's the first. Well, I don't know if Disney's, you know, all the stuff getting passed around when they announced it. So, hey, Coaster Box, what's up? What's up, BSM? What's up, Lindsay Allen Entertainment? But yeah, so take what I just said about first coaster for Epcot as what a grain of salt, just because everybody's been saying first coaster. So I'm just going by that, but I don't consider Test Track a coaster. It's not on any track. I mean, it's on I don't know how to put it. It's just a fast car ride thing. You know, it's kind of like, to me, the equivalent of a really fast antique car ride that's got some cool aspects in it. Really, I mean, except you're not hitting the gas pedal. It's doing itself. You know what I'm saying? Whoa, a 5-hour queue? That is crazy. I mean, that ride's going to be crazy busy. You know it's going to get that. You know, I mean, I love Ratatouille. I think that movie is awesome. And I'm actually looking forward to what they do. Hopefully they make some improvements of what they have in Disneyland Paris. And hopefully, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully they build on that, and if there's any improvements if any, to be made, then they can make them. So Epcot's going to go, is the next park on the line to get some major updates to it, which I welcome open arms. I think it's great. I actually like it. Holy crap, 5-hour queues. Oh, man. I mean, me personally, I couldn't wait 5 hours for any ride. I'll just be like, screw it. I'm not doing it. No way. Yeah, and I mean, and supposedly, as you say that about the movies fit into the whole Epcot, world, the world showcase and that. I hope that is what happens. Just because, I mean, think about it. I mean, I don't know how many of you young guys appreciate Epcot for what it is, and I know they have that festival there with the booze and that. I forgot what the hell they call it. But my brain is jaded today. Big time. But anyway, so, they have a lot of these events that are catered towards the more older crowd than the younger crowd. And for Disney to be successful, it needs to be geared towards everybody. So this is the step in the right direction. I mean, I totally think it's the step in the right direction for Epcot. And I love that. I think for the 5-hour queue, I think it did hit that, in the first few weeks, and then probably died off a little bit. But it definitely hit that, because I kept hearing people complaining about, and there's this the bank that my my business is at, and I talk to all the bank tellers and that for years. And one of them is a big Disney fanatic, goes 2-3 times a year. And she went, and she was able to only wait an hour and a half. She's like, "You gotta go, Josh. You gotta check it out. It's awesome." But she said the first time she went, she didn't ride it, and then she went a few months later, and she got to ride it. She was like, "Oh, the queue line was." They was telling her it was 4 hours long. She's like, "I'm not waiting 4 hours." She goes, "I went and rode everything else." So. I mean, if you think about it, it was a new thing to Animal Kingdom. The technology on it seems to be amazing. I haven't ridden it yet. That's the key word, yet. It's going to happen soon, and it's going to be awesome. Yep, the Bear movie for Canada. Brother Bear, awesome movie, if that's the one you're talking about. Mulan is the one for China. Dory for Living Sea. I rode the Finding Nemo ride there in Epcot, and I wasn't digging it. I really think they should redo the whole thing. I wasn't digging that ride at all. I did really like the Turtle Talk with Crush. That was awesome. If you've never done it, you need to do it. It's awesome. Especially because everybody knows I'm a big 5-year-old, and I really, really think that the whole that Turtle Talk with Crush is awesome. I love doing it. Food and wine, that's what it is. Yeah. So, all right. So, Kings Island is the next step in the news. There's a rumor going around right now that a Sky Warp is going to be going to the park for 2018. So take that with a grain of salt. It's been being passed around within the Costa community, so amusement parks and stuff. So that's what is being suggested for their 2018 new addition to the park. Over the weekend, Darien Lake had some weird. I may have ridden the original Living Seas, whatever was in Epcot back then. I don't remember everything. I rode it. That I know. I know we went line to line. We rode everything. I also do remember, Body Wars, that was in the simulator ride. You went through the body, and you got sprayed in it. That was kind of cool. I remember riding the original, whatever incarnation of Figment was in Epcot. And also, I can't remember that. I'm so bad with ride names lately. I must have whacked my head good on something. I don't know. What do you call it? The one when you're on the boat ride and it goes through everything. Yeah, that's all the Nemo ride did was just put Nemo floating around. I think they really need to either trash that ride, or if they want to save Nemo and put Dory or something, I say redo it. I mean, if they want to use the same cars, cool, but put a little bit more effort to making it look like an aquarium. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. That's just my opinion. So, Darien Lake, Silver Bullet, the Enterprise ride. For some reason, it was E-stopped. Some people got injured because it was like, it wasn't all the way up. It was kind of like pitched. And when it just dead stopped like that, then the cars would woo, swinging around and all that stuff. And but the ride reopened the next day, and I don't know the full story yet, but that's what had happened. And yes, Daniel Campbell. I saw the pictures. Actually, it's they actually completed the track either today or yesterday. I can't remember which day. I want to say yesterday, but the track is fully complete. I think it was yesterday. They put the last piece of track on. I got to do the rest of the work. So that's all done. Steel Vengeance is done. Well, for track-wise. They just got to finish the rest of the ride. For those like me that like Halloween stuff, Roger Williams Zoo, Jack-O-Lantern Spectacular, good for all, for everybody, for all ages. Starting tonight and going through November 5th. It starts the Jack-O-Lantern Spooktacular. It's awesome. They have carved pumpkins in a trail, within the walkway of the zoo. It's awesome. And I'm a bad host because I did not write down how much it cost. But you can also ride the Soaring Eagle zip line over the pumpkins that I saw pop up in my email. So if you're wondering what the Soaring Eagle zip line is, if you've been to Six Flags Great Adventure at the Safari and that zip line thing that you sit in, that's what what do you call it? That's what it is, except now you can fly over the pumpkins. Okay, Big E. Big E's all done now. Whoa. My family has been to World's Fair Chicago some year. New York 41, 1965, Montreal 67, 2080, Knoxville 82, New Orleans 84, Vancouver 86. So I'm okay with how Epcot has been. I like that idea, Lindsay Yell Entertainment. The best idea is to clone the Tokyo Disney Sea Simulator ride and put it there. Just build off it the Turtle Talk Theater and maybe a restaurant. So I like that idea. Who is the track from RMC already? For Skywarp? Because I have no idea who makes the track for that. I thought Skywarp was another company. I have no idea. I mean, it took me a while to figure out that when they were building the SNS. I mean, before they were built, but when they were building the Joker ride, Batman, whatever the hell they're building, that it was a RMC track. But I don't know who builds the Skywarp track thing. I didn't look into it because my honest opinion on it, really, with the Skywarp, I mean, just by the looks, and I know not to judge a book by its cover, but it's not, to me, it's not a roller coaster. I'm leaving it at that. I'm sure if I keep it in my mind as like a cool twist on a Fireball flat ride, then it's probably going to be cool. Me personally, I just can't see it as a roller coaster. That's just me. I am proud of RMC, though, because when they first started out with all these projects, when they started out with Six Flags with this, with this track, and they were only doing like one or two projects, but now they built themselves up so much, and that all the parks are, buying into their product, that they can handle more. They have better, manufacturing. They can do whatever they got to do. They got bigger buildings and stuff now. So, it's great to see somebody rise up like that. And now I'm hoping, what I really hope happens, because RMC put their, dropped their hat into the game. I hope that because of what RMC is doing now, that it kind of steps the plate up for some more roller coaster innovation. Now, what I mean by that is maybe some new styles. I don't know how many more styles you can do. New designs in cars, new designs and different stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm hoping that it kind of pushes and motivates all the coaster manufacturers. Because, I mean, if you look at, like, Intamin, they used to be on top of their game, and then all of a sudden they just was like, gone. Well, they're there, but they're not really doing nothing in the States. You still have your B&M, you still got your Vekoma. All these companies that are trying to throw their hat in the ring. And, you know what I'm saying? I know, like, B&M, I mean, they started with, the new restraints, like when they did with Banshee and the, what do you call it, the wing coasters and stuff, as they were changing it. And then, like I said a few weeks ago, they're working on a new car style restraint for stand-up coasters to help that out. So, well, I think Intamin will return to at least, the United States and Canada, but they're going to have to. The only way that they're going to be able to kind of get back and return to their full form is they need to, one, create maybe a new style of train. They need to make sure that their products, because I hear a lot of complaints either from parks or people about how unreliable Intamin rides are. But, so we'll see what happens. I mean, you don't ever want to see a company go away and go out of business. That's just bad. You know what I'm saying? You always want somebody else to come up and throw their hat in the ring, because it helps innovation, it helps move things forward. So what RMC did, I think, is a great thing. Whether or not they're building Skywarps or not, that's to be seen or not, I don't know. Regardless of what, but it's just good to see that people like them. People still buy B&Ms. People are still buying Vekomas. People are buying Max. So people still buying rides. People still manufacturing rides. So that's what we need, and we need to see the innovation move forward. Yeah, I agree. That's part of the problem with the big money for the rides. That's what happens. The bigger you get, you got to get more money. You got to charge more money for your product, because you can. But then now, for Intamin to get back in the game, they're going to have to drop it. And B&M may have to drop it too, because, hey, Candy Blake, what's up? It's not like, at one time, all these companies were like gangbusters. And then they kind of fell off a little bit. And it's not like every park can afford to spend $25 million, $30 million on a ride. They just can't do it. So, it is, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. We'll see how the future kind of twists and turns and gets molded, so to speak. All right, so what's the next on the news? All right, Big E. The only reason why I'm even talking about it, because they set a lot of attendance records. Oh, we're talking about, we were just talking about RMC and hoping that the progression of roller coaster innovation, because of them throwing their hat in the ring, but all the other roller coaster manufacturers help. But now we're talking Big E. They set an attendance record, a total of 1,525,553, with the previous record was in 2014 at 1,498,605. October 1st attendance was 130,000 37,208 people for the day. A new record as well for the final day. But the one-day attendance record for the year was set at 171,897, and that record was broke on September 23rd. So they got big business. Hi, Isabella. Mac is a loser. Wow, that's kind of out there. You know, I like Mac rides. I'm really digging them. Like that ride at Busch Gardens in Tampa. The, what do you call it? The Cobra Curse. That ride's awesome. I love that ride. Why would Mac be pronounced with an O? Mach. Well, don't forget, that's a German company, or what? Yeah. So, you know, it is what it is. All right, so I don't know if anybody's been seeing this news running around. Merlin Entertainment. They own, you know, they operate Legoland, and you know, like London Eye and Madame Tussauds and stuff like that. Anyway, they're throwing their hat in the ring and they're trying to buy the two Busch parks from SeaWorld. But the problem is SeaWorld wants to sell it all, not break it up. So I guess we're going to see how that plays out. But if SeaWorld can't get it together, hopefully that at least Busch Gardens can, you know, go to someone that'll step it up, so to speak. Last tidbit of news is Cedar Fair will now have a CEO, Richard Zimmerman, and takes over on January 1st. I know nothing about this guy. So hopefully he does some good stuff for the parks. We'll see how that turns out. All right, so first things first. Let's talk about Lake Compounce. We'll talk about Haunted Graveyard. Then we'll talk about Fright Fest, and then we'll talk about big news. All right, so I had, you know, since I started like banging out this YouTube page, trying to pimp it out and all that, and it's starting to work out in my favor, thank God. A little bit here and there. So I emailed Jerry Brick at Lake Compounce. I said, hey, you know, I'd like to come in, film some stuff for, you know, the YouTube channel, you know, so, and I said, yeah, we can film some stuff. So he said, you know, we set it up for Sunday, and so we went there. Me, Devin, and Luco went there on Sunday, and Jerry Brick took us inside the infield of Wildcat, took us in where they housed the motor and all that, and the big wheel for Wildcat, and yeah, so he was telling us all about there's going to be a new paint scheme for Wildcat. All the supports are going to be white. The stacks for the track are going to be black, and the handrails are going to be orange. They got about 3 weeks left of painting left to do, and what do you call it? So with that being said, so he took us into the, he took us into the, where the wheel is, and was, he was talking about. You can see stuff in the video that we posted, and what we found out was there's not many parks left from Wood Coasters that have the wheel. That he's trying to keep it, and those that didn't know that the company wanted Jerry to have Wildcat ripped down and put a brand new ride in the spot, and Jerry fought against the company and said, no, it's got historical significance, and he won it out, and they got about 70% of a new ride. They, like I said before a million times, they still got they still got work. They know what has to be done. They know, and they're working on it. Because of the new trains were heavier, that's why they had to get a new motor. And what do you call it? So the Wildcat. I mean, Jerry is trying his hardest to try to get it open before the season. so he can get it. If he can get it open, he's going to get it open. He can't guarantee it. The new motor came in Friday, and they're just waiting on one piece to come in. They're going to start working it, and if they can get it up and running, they will. If they can't, then it'll be open next year. I know a lot of people are disappointed because they want to ride it, and I mean, it still needs some work. Yes, we know, and it's going to get there. But regardless of that, so after we went through all the Wildcat stuff, then he took us over to the shop, the maintenance shop, and we got to see the Boulder Dash, one of the cars, sitting on the jack so they can work on it, spinning around and all that. You know, and he was talking to us all about what's going on, what they're working on. One thing I didn't show, and I should have, was they went where they do all the programming for stuff. Where they do, electrical and computer programming. They were working on one of the Ghost Hunt cars because stuff that the car rides over to tell it to keep going that way. Well, it wasn't working properly on some of the cars, and I was making the cars spin around in circles and do things and stuff, and see what see what happens. And they're going to fix that, and they're also going to be working on, and they've been putting all the stuff in the ground, all the communications. Jerry said the park sound that goes on throughout the park. He said it stinks, and they're working on doing that, and so they're going to fix the park sound. And then he took us where they're working on one of the train cars there for the choo-choo train. They're replacing all the seats, all the seating in it. They put new flooring down on it. And then he took us into where they have they have one carousel horse. And he was talking about we were asking about the process and all this other stuff. So we were talking about that, and he was showing us that. So it was the whole tour was really informative. It was awesome. And I kind of like more of a smaller, like the three of us and Jerry in a tour, because it made the tour that much more better, that much more special, because instead of having a whole group and everybody's shouting out a million questions and whatever, and it kind of makes the tour a little shorter than it should be sometimes because there's just so much chaos going on. But this made it that much better. We took our time. He explained a lot of stuff. I just didn't want to make the video like 2 hours long, or an hour long. So we just chopped it up, made it small, put all the goodies in it that you got to see. And we also showed in that video the Haunted Graveyard. Now, for those that have no idea about the Haunted Graveyard or the inner workings of it, Lake Compounce does not run it, operate it, nothing. There's a guy named Ernie. If those who've been watching the Grove Show for quite a few years now, in 2013... We did a walkthrough, but I don't think I posted any video from that, actually. But I did post the interview with Ernie. Now, there's a lot of things I don't know. Most people aren't going to know unless you work there or ask. And he guided us probably a quarter of the way through. Then he had to get ready and to open it, because this was right before the haunt was opening. So, and this is just going to tie into the Haunted Graveyard part of the presentation. So he just said, hey, walk through whatever you need, call me. He gave me his cell phone number, so whatever, he was going to let us in the haunt, when it opened, if we wanted to, throw us in and do whatever, but we had to run back home and all this other stuff and whatnot, and plus he was busy, and I tried calling him, but he was with his, meeting with his, scarers and stuff and getting ready to open, and he likes to send in the first several groups in himself. He does that every day. But here's a few little inside tips. I don't know if you watched any of the videos that we posted. In that first area that you're walking in, and you're walking through, and they have the Knights of Templar stuff. All the names are that are on the walls are historically accurate to the Knights of Templar. And all the tombstones inside the graveyard area are all historically accurate to the Salem witch trial. the Ernie actually taught history for over 30 years, so he likes to have things as accurate as possible. He likes to add a lot of detail, even though most of us will not see it while walking through the haunt. But when he walks through the haunt, when it's, he can see it, and that's what he likes, that's what he wants. So that's what he does. So this guy is like an amazing talent to the haunt industry. And I wish more people were like that. His attention to detail. If you actually like paid it, not everybody can get the look that we had, and that's why there was little bits and chops ups. And if I didn't want to show the whole thing just yet, I want people to get in there and see it. We are going to post the entire walkthrough with Ernie, and then what we did for the rest of the time. And I don't know when I'm going to post it, but I still got to edit it all together. And but we got a lot of great video on it. You can see a lot of the cool stuff, and it was really a good time. I mean, I really feel grateful that, Jerry and Ernie were like, hey, come here, record this stuff, do what you got to do, and I like building relationships with that. So it's pretty cool that we were able to be able to do that. I'm happy about it. I'm hoping that everybody else makes it out to the Haunted Graveyard, because, I mean, out of all the haunts that I've been to, even this year and the last few years, that one's really be really that much attention to detail. So it'll be good. Now, as I'm talking, I see this crazy, I guess that topic of talking about Merlin buying SeaWorld is really kind of brought out the chat here, which is great. I like to see that. So let me scroll back a little bit here, and we can, while I was mumbling jumbling, see what all you folks were talking about in the chat, because I see all kinds of crazy stuff. Yeah, there's a debate about who's going to buy SeaWorld, because it's not only just Merlin that's throwing a hat in the ring with this. There's other companies, they haven't said who. Somebody said there's a rumor going around that Six Flags is going to buy the SeaWorld parks, and people are against that because of the old Geauga Lake thing when they sold it to Cedar Fair. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen if SeaWorld gets sold to some, even if, say, for example, Merlin buys Busch and somebody else buys SeaWorld. Say that happens. Right? Say that happens. Honestly, I say I have more faith in Busch Gardens, rising up to the occasion and getting better than, say, Six Flags or Cedar Fair buying SeaWorld. I just don't see it. Whoever buys SeaWorld is going to be screwed, because it's already coming with the black eye because of the killer whale things. Whoever buys it is probably going to have to get rid of the killer whales right off the bat, or do something. I don't know what they plan on doing, but they're going to have to do something, because it's sort of, okay, these people bought it, now what are they going to do? So they need to do something. I don't know how it's going to be run, how it would work. I don't know. I really don't know. Yeah, Anheuser-Busch used to own all the Busch Parks and SeaWorld. Paramount Parks sold their company to Cedar Fair, and they are doing successful. Here is the problem, like I was saying. Paramount Parks is a little bit different than SeaWorld's a touchy subject because of the whole blackfish and blah, blah, blah. That's... You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's going to be touchy for whoever buys SeaWorld. That's just what I'm saying. I mean, if they... I get why they made Blackfish. They made it a one-sided thing. I I think, and people are so close-minded, especially animal lovers in a sense. If you're just going to put out a video, a documentary about the bad side of it without showing any of the good side, a lot of the animal lovers are kind of like, oh my God, bad, bad, bad. They didn't want to put in any of the good stuff. They put nothing in it. I haven't seen it, but I just heard everybody complaining and crying about saying how one-sided it is. And from the looks of everything that you can see on it, it looks like it's a one-sided thing. And, the only way any company that buys SeaWorld will survive, and unfortunately, you have to toss out the killer whale. That's the only way. If they get rid of the killer whales, whoever buys SeaWorld will survive. And it's unfortunate, and I hate to even say that, but anybody, if SeaWorld is to survive, period, they need to get rid of the killer whales. And I'm totally against it. You know what I mean? Like, I love seeing the killer whales up close. I'm not going to California and go hop on a boat and maybe see a killer whale chilling out in the ocean. That's why I like going to SeaWorld or any aquarium for that matter, or any zoo, because I can see animals that I'm not normally going to see up close. I'm going to be at the zoo and I can see them and be... That's what I want to... I just want to see... When I go to a zoo, I'm going to see whatever it is, fish or whatever. I mean, SeaWorld, is SeaWorld more about the animals or new thrill rides? For them to survive right now, they got to kind of backpedal off the animal thing a little bit and put in rides to get people to go in for the rides. Yes, they'll maintain themselves as a, animal park, but they're gonna have to put more rides in until, what do you call it? Until people can finally let that in the past. And I don't know. No matter what SeaWorld does, it seems to be wrong in the public view because of the killer whales. So we'll see how that one plays out. All right, so let's talk Six Flags New England's Fright Fest. Yes, I posted the video late last night. We posted it. It's like 22 minutes long, so I don't expect people to watch it all the time. But I have to say this. You guys know every year I send the park a long laundry list of improvements for Fright Fest. I tell them what's great about it, and I tell them what's bad about it. So I do that every year, but this year I found myself with very little to complain about, and I'm going to tell you why. Now, a lot of complaints that we all had was a lot of the complaints were it wasn't staffed enough, wasn't scary enough. The scare zones were empty of props and scare actors and all that, and that was a big problem. They didn't have enough people in there to do their job, and they didn't, for whatever reason. But how do I put this? As crazy as this sounds, they actually stepped that up and then some. The bridge going into the picnic grove is all misted out with lights and sounds and vibrating the bridge and snap, crackle, pops. You got, I'm going to be posting the haunt videos over the next few days for Six Flags. Like the full length. Some of them I may not because they're just so dark and there wasn't really a way for me to be able to light it up. There's certain spots, but you can hear the girls screaming and stuff because Jessica was there, Danielle was there, Alyssa was there, Luco was there, my brother was there, Devin was there. So we had a whole array of people, so it was cool. But in any case, so we did Slasher Circus, and then when we got out of that, and then we did the labyrinth, the laboratory, And then I met up with AJ because AJ was there. He had Big Mike with him. So the three of us went through Slasher Circus again. And it was great actually meeting Big Mike for the first time because I had never like physically met Big Mike. I always see the posts that people were posting about it and hanging out with him. So it was great for once to finally meet the man. And but I mean, it's great. And everybody loved it that we had Jessica and Danielle and Alyssa, in front of us because they were like our little scream squad, so to speak. They get scared easily. It's funny as hell. If you ever see us at a haunt somewhere or at a park with a haunt, please join in if you want a good laugh. Because it's going to be funny. Yeah, I met Big Mike Roadshow. That guy's cool as hell. And the thing about Big Mike is, I didn't know anything about him really, just seen the pictures. Everybody's like, Big Mike, Big Mike. I'm like, okay, Big Mike. I don't know Big Mike. No, I know Big Mike. He is the nicest guy on the planet. And I had to laugh. Everybody that knows me and met me in real life, I'm a short little dude. And he's a tall dude. And Luco's a tall dude. So, he was leaving the park and, we're shaking hands. And he's like, hey, it was nice to meet you, little buddy. And I was cracking up. We were dying. He's a great guy. If you can ever meet Big Mike and hang out with him, he's a cool dude. And, but yeah, so I have to say, Six Flags New England actually stepped it up with the haunted houses. I mean, even the scare zones were stepped up. I know it sounds shocking. It was stepped up. There was people everywhere. Scare zones. The park was packed. Well, it was busy. Scare zones were awesome. Creep Show, Freak Show was awesome. Graveyard Groove was awesome. There was some technical issues that I told the park about. That some of the mics were lower than others. The music was low. Some songs were lower than others. So they got to work that out. I told them about that. I'm like, yeah, you need to turn these up a little bit because it just sounded too low. But I just love that they're putting the work in to do the shows. They're putting, Creep Show, Freak Shows run by a different company, and they, you got Flame, you got Fire, you got that chick that was on that AMC show, Freak Show, and I watched that. I love freak shows. I love all that freaky stuff. So she's swallowing swords and coat hangers and doing her thing, and doing the nail in the nose thing, and that's why my boyfriend loves me, kind of thing. And I mean, like I said, every year, anybody who's watched my Fright Fest Media Day show here, I've always said, hey, there's a lot to fix. It's heading in the right direction, but there's a lot to fix. And it seems either they took my lists from all the years and went, can we just shut this jerk up and just do it? Maybe that's what they did. Maybe they took all my lists and was like, we got to do this. This way he stops. So, and they started actually, things were getting checked off that I've complained about. The boxes were getting checked off that they actually did. So it's great that even if it was me or a lot of people complaining about it, I'm glad to see it. The only thing that I told them that they need to change about Fright Fest is maybe take some of the older themes and scare zones, kind of change it up, get a new theme. And I said, I noticed what they're doing now with the Midnight Mansion is it's the same, but it's different. You know what I'm saying? It's the same, but different in Midnight Mansion. They just keep moving different rooms around. I mean, if you walk through Midnight Mansion, it's terrifically decorated with props and stuff like that. It's really done pretty well. Yes, Freak Show is by the Joker. You can see the 15th greatest stuntman, as he calls it. He does the mousetrap on the tongue. He walks barefoot on glass with a guy on his back. He blows flames, which is pretty cool. And if you watch the video, towards the end of the video, I did put one of his flames in slow motion. It was pretty damn cool. Just to show the flame come out nice and slow. It was awesome. It's a great show. if you can fit it into your Fright Fest schedule, the Creep Show Freak Show is awesome if you're into that kind of thing. We did ride Pandemonium. We did ride Voodoo Vortex. And we did ride the Teacups. I can't remember the name of it right now, but that's okay. But the cool thing about all of it, the park allowed me, as long as I had this, what do you call it? Wristband on my camera, I could pretty much free reign in the park, not in restricted areas, film. And that's what I did. I did what I was allowed to film. Everything that is on that video, I was allowed to do. With all the permissions. I even recorded the Graveyard Groove show, and we're going to put that up too. Oh, somebody emailed me or something. What is it? What is it? Anything good? Oh, just a bunch of emails. I'll look at that later. I don't feel like dealing with work today. Especially after my horrible elbow. But yeah, so if you were kind of like down about Fright Fest and going, it's crap, I would give it another shot. I mean, when I was there Saturday, I was actually excited. I really was. I was like, oh my god, this is awesome. Like, the actors were like doing everything they could. I mean, I don't get scared. It's just the way it is. I don't get scared. But the work that they were putting in, the way they were acting, they actually stepped up their level. I mean, some did some the typical normal stuff. But there was a bunch of actors, and one that really stood out to me, and if you watch the Slasher Circus video I'm going to put up probably after the show sometime, if you actually look at, near the end, the last final room, there's this girl, the clown girl, and she's like all freaky and turning her body all different kinds of way, and it was really awesome. She did a really awesome job. Everybody in the Slasher Circus thing was doing an amazing job. There was like like you go in the haunts, doesn't necessarily mean Six Flags, but anywhere, and you go in the haunt and you see the actors, they're not really, maybe they're having an off night and they're not really into it. I don't know, well, for whatever reason. They're not putting their all into it. They're just kind of like, boo, or they're hiding behind something and just don't want to bother. So, I mean, everybody, there was very few that weren't putting their all into it. And I mean, the ones that are outside, Wicked Woods and Aftermath, Zombies, Revenge, they can't tell I have really the camera or the bracelet, so they're not really trying to show off. They can't tell. They don't know. So, I mean, it was great. I had a blast. It was awesome. What they did, and one thing I want to mention, because it was really cool, they always give us a dinner. And what they're doing, I don't know how many of you have been there recently, but in front of Goliath entrance, it's now kind of like fenced off a little bit, because they do what they're calling a Fright Fest meal deal. And you can actually use your dining pass for this. You can either pick barbecue chicken or pulled pork, or you can pay $2 and get both. You can have like beans and corn on the cob or baked potato, and you can use one meal on it, and it was pretty good. I mean, they had free booze on the patio there by the JB's, and they had like these cupcakes that I didn't eat because, like I said, I'm trying to lose weight, and so I didn't get to enjoy the cupcake, unfortunately. But it was really a really good time. I was really digging it, feeling it. I mean, I didn't do drugs or nothing, so it was the first Fright Fest that I was actually like excited, like crazy, like pumped about. Like when I left, I was smiling ear to ear. I was pumped. We were talking about it the whole ride home. We were talking about it the next day, like how awesome it was, how much fun it was. It really was awesome. So it was awesome. I'll just leave it at that. It was awesome. So I'm going to start putting up. Well, I'm down 18 pounds. I haven't weighed myself in like a month. as of last month, I was down 18 pounds, and I know I keep losing it because people are starting to make actual comments that don't see me all the time. Like, hey, you're starting to lose weight. So the comments are coming out. People are starting to notice it in my face, and I'm starting to lose a little weight. I'm still a fat munchkin, but I'm losing it, and I'm not losing it fast. But trust me, I've been drinking. The only thing that I drink first, well, when I wake up, I always have orange juice. But when I go to work, this is what I get, and then I usually have one on the way home. But other than that, I'm usually drinking juice, water, barely any soda, and that's what I've been doing. I've been eating a lot less. Like, instead of getting that big giant plate of macaroni and meatballs, I take the little plate now. You know, everything. I don't go to Burger. I barely eat fast food now, and if I do, I get like a double cheeseburger instead of a double Whopper. I make everything smaller portions, and it's been working. So I'm gonna keep doing that. So. But anyways, on to what I think is big news, because it's big news for me. Myself and Dave in November will be attending IAAPA. So this is a big thing for me. It may not be a big deal for some. I know a lot of people that have gone and go, it's boring after day 3. But for me, it was something that I wanted to try to get on the media list, and I was like, I want to go. I want to check this thing out. So I signed up for the media list. I guess it's not that hard to get on it, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I know you got to send in a website, and you got to send in the whatever you got for it. You know what I'm saying? So I did. I got my press credentials approved. Me and Dave are going down there because I'm allowed to bring one guest. And then next year, if Luco can make it, we'll take Luco. We're gonna vice versa. And stuff like that. So me and Dave are planning up the whole IAAPA thing. So we're going to go down there. I don't know how many days we're staying. I figured, you know, I at least want to be there for Tuesday, Wednesday, maybe go home Thursday. I know it's till Friday, but probably go home Thursday because I still have to work, and I'm probably still going to be working during the show. Now, I do know from everybody that told me that it's really tough to record video because there's been a lot of problems. And actually, I've heard that they've actually arrested and thrown out of the show people that were working for Chinese knockoff companies. That's why a lot of the stuff is supposed to be kind of behind closed doors for the GP. And they don't really want a lot of it out there in the world, I guess, because it's a closed convention. You have to be part of something or whatever to get in it. You just can't get in it. And but they say always ask permission for filming and taking pictures. They actually encourage pictures. They do have like announcements like showing off new what do you call it? You know, like the new trains for a new ride coming out or whatever announcements are going on. We'll be there. We're going to cover whatever we're allowed to cover. But I did manage to score that I didn't need a security escort to film. Because all I'm bringing is my cell phone to record on. That's all I'm bringing. I'm not bringing any big cameras in. I didn't want to lug stuff around, especially for the first time. I wanted to, you know, I'm going in with the expectation of I can cover what I'm allowed. I'm not going to get angry because I've been told that, you know, this is a trade show where people are trying to sell things. So sometimes they're not going to want to talk to you because, I mean, we're small potatoes compared to NBC, ABC, and whoever else is covering. You know, they're going to talk to big media. They're not going to talk to small guys. Some people are going to talk to the little guy. And that's fine. If they want to talk to us and say a few words and let us do things, fine. If not, I'm not going to get angry. I'm just going to go do my thing. You know, there's tons of stuff to check out. There's all different kinds of foods. There's ride manufacturers. There's coin op stuff. There's haunted house stuff. Dock rides. There's pinball. There's all kinds of stuff there. So I am just going to take my stroll on through the show. I'm going to... Oh, my knee. I don't know what I did. When I fell, The back of my leg, my calf, is killing me. Probably twisted and falling off the board. I'm walking like with a crazy limp right now. Well, once you get into IAAPA, ones with the TV crews or the big camera, you know, guys like TPR and In the Loop and whoever else is going down there with the big cameras and they're filming stuff, they need to have a security. You get like 90 minutes, 2 hours with a security, so you'll be able to have to record stuff. Because I'm not bringing a big camera and I'm not going crazy, I told the guy what I was bringing. I even updated my profile for the press pass thing of what I'm bringing. He's like, oh, you don't need an escort for that. You could just film. But everybody that has been there, you know, in the years past, they said, don't just go filming stuff. Don't just do, you know what I mean? Always ask. If you're going to, say, B&M's booth, they say, always ask. Don't just do it. You know what I'm saying? Don't, you know, you got to be respectful. And I was told, if they say no, don't get frustrated. Don't get angry. It is what it is. So, I know people that have gotten in trouble for just walking around filming stuff. You know, threatening to lose their credentials. So I'm going to play by the rules. I want to take it in the first IAAPA trip just to kind of get a feel for how it is, and then the next year go back and take care of business. So again, like I said, we're going down there. We're going to take it all in. We're going to respectfully ask for everything to record, whether it's pinball, haunted house, ride manufacturers, rides, whatever that they allow me to do. I will. If they say no, I will say, hey, thank you for your time, and move on. I'm not going to hang out at booths. You know, I'm just going to look around. And if there's any materials that I can take, I'll, you know what I mean? Now they have the pamphlets and stuff. We'll take that stuff. So if we get a bunch of footage, we'll put it together. We're still going to be taking pictures. And we'll do vlogs and stuff from it and see what happens. You know what I'm saying? So, it's definitely an experience. It's a big deal for me. I pat myself on the back, and yeah, all jacked up. That was from Halloween Horror Nights 2015. See? That was Halloween Horror Nights. Just remember, Dave, if you want to film something, we'll just ask. I'm sure they're not going to care, but we'll just ask because I don't want to get us kicked out. That's all I want. I don't want to get kicked out. I want to have, Stern Pinball is going to be there. Jersey Jack Pinball is going to be there. Anything in coin-operated, you know, crane games and all the other stuff is all going to be there. I was told by someone that because once I got my credentials and I was able to go, I started messaging people on Facebook that I knew that's been there, and I said, hey, you know, what's the do's, the don'ts? Give me the opinions. I don't want to get kicked out. I want to know, you know, I just want to make sure that I'm playing by the rules. I don't want IAAPA to go, hey, you guys are idiots. Get the hell out of here. You know what I'm saying? I don't want none of that. I want to respect them, and then someday they'll respect me. Maybe they never will. They'll be like, look at this fat ass, and just get rid of them. You know, whatever it is. But I just want to, like I said, I just want to be able to go in there and do things. And then just keep expanding on it. That's all I want to do. That's the main goal. So we're going to do coin op. We're going to do haunt stuff. Because you know what? I never see enough video of all the coin-operated stuff, the haunted stuff. I love Halloween haunted props and all that stuff. We're just going to walk around, and whatever we can do, we can do. And we'll see what we come up with. Also, me and Dave have been talking about this. I don't know if it's going to happen or not, but I'm hoping, because I really want to do it, Dave. But it's up really if you want to do it. But I hope you want to do it because I want to do it. The Tuesday night that we're there is Mickey's very special Christmas party thing. And I love it, and I really want to go. So hopefully Dave really wants to go. It's that Magic Kingdom. I really, really want to go. I really want to go, Dave. Don't let me down, Dave. I want to go. But no. But still. But there's others, and then like Wednesday or whatever, depending upon, we still got things to talk about. We can go to Fun Spot. I can go check out Mind Blower, whatever the hell it is, down at Fun Spot and whatever. It's just, I just want to have fun while I'm down there. Get to the business at hand, and then bring that footage back to you guys. And you know what I'm saying? Like I just want to bring the footage to you guys to show you cool stuff. That's what I try to do. And I've been emailing every single cool park that you guys like. And also, if there's parks we're not covering that you want to see us cover, tell us. Tell us. And we will do our best to cover them, because, Luca was out in Croatia, did that. Dave and Jody are going to be hopping the pond in a couple weeks. They're going to be going to Disneyland Paris. They're going to be doing a UK trip with Costa Crew. So we're going to have a lot of footage from that. So, yes, it's Europe stuff, but some people like that stuff. I like some of it because I want to get there someday. So I want to see what Dave will bring to the table. So with all this stuff going around, but seriously, if there's parks that, we always cover all the new, like Canopy Lake sometimes, and, Lake Compounce and Six Flags New England, or wherever the hell we go. Busch Gardens and whatever. Canada's Wonderland. That's a park that we've been talking about going. That's within the next couple of years, we're going there. Yeah, Volcano Bay would be awesome to cover. But I'm talking about anywhere in the country. It doesn't have to be New England. Anywhere in the country. You know what I'm saying? If we just make this list, it's what you guys, you guys are cool enough to sit here and watch my fat ass tell you about amusement park stuff. And whatever, we make videos and whatever you guys like. But still, the whole point of the whole thing is we want to keep the interest of the people. I do this for you guys. I don't do it for myself. I have not been to Laurent. That's another one on the list to go to, because Luco has never been to any of the Canada parks. I've been to Canada's Wonderland in 1995. That was the only time I've been. So we want to do a trip where we can hit Laurent, Canada's Wonderland. King's Dominion's definitely getting covered next year, because that's where part of CoasterCon. But since I found my newfound love for this show and YouTube, when I go to parks, I was always too busy having fun and not documenting it. Because there's always some funny stuff going on. There's always some cool stuff going on. And I never pull out the camera, ever. I barely ever do it. And I told, all the times, like me, Dave, and Jody, and Luco, and I'm like, we got to stop. We just got to pull the camera out. You know what I'm saying? It's like, the whole point of this show, and I've said it before, was to help people decide down the road of parks they've never been to and they want to see. And maybe that'll help you guys decide where you want to go on your vacations. Because if you don't want to go to some park, go there and find out it sucks. I hate that when I go to some little dinky thing and I went all the way over here and this place is garbage. I want to make sure that, hey, I've been here. I can save you from not going to this park if it don't look like something you want. Go to. But I try to go to every park that I can. Just because I want to. Yeah, you don't want to smell it. You don't want to smell my butt. It's disgusting. So that was the big news. We talked about Fright Fest. We talked about Lake Compounce. Like and subscribe on the channel. Share it. Let's get everybody in on this. Let's get everybody in on it. And next week, we'll be back. I don't know what we're going to talk about yet. But we are going to the Haunted Graveyard this weekend. We're going to do a bunch of haunts all over the joint. And maybe we'll do like haunt reviews. Plus Dave will probably most likely be on the show next week, because we're going to start doing some UK hype. And if there's things that you want to... SFNE is not a park to avoid going to. That's a good park. But anyway, so if you want Dave to cover particular things at parks, tune in, and we can tell Dave what to cover. I got ideas I need to lay down on Dave of what we can and can't do, but definitely tune in, and we can try and get Dave to cover a bunch of stuff that we want to see because we didn't get to go. Well, not because we didn't get to, we just didn't pay to go. So, but anyway, we'll be back next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. That would be 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, until next Thursday, have a great weekend. If I catch up with you somewhere, come say hi. We'll come and kick it. But until next week, keep on coasting! Woo!